And so welcome back, Rio Grande Guardian viewers. Great to see you again. We have another very special guest. That's all we do with the Rio Grande Guardian, have very special guests for our podcasts. Pleased to be meeting up again with Emilio Guzman. Emilio?
Thank you so much, Steve, for having me here. Good to see you too.
But we're going to learn today that Emilio is a visitor to the valley, so we're going to make the most of this visit. He's got tremendous business interest down here. He's going to tell us all about that. But you're visiting the valley again?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're setting up our office here in McAllen. We're real estate developers, but we're also regional center, which means that we can invite international investors to participate in our projects through the EB5 program.
Remind us of the company name.
Open EB5.
Open EB5.
Correct. Yes.
And let's start, for those viewers that don't know about EB5, what's the concept, what's the idea there, how did it start, how's it going?
EB5, it's an immigration program that started a long time ago, in fact, 1990. And the basis for it is if you as an investor can show where your money's coming from, source of funds, right, to be perfectly documented, then the project that is approved by the government through our license, through our regional center license, can be eligible for you to get a green card. That means you as an investor and your immediate family, which is a spouse and children under 21. So as long as they are aware that they need to show where the money's coming from, we'll take care of the job creation and economic development that eventually will allow them to be green card holders.
And the federal government doesn't just allow anyone to do this. You've got to be a very reputable company to start with. You've had to jump through a lot of hoops to get that accreditation.
Correct. You have to have an approval as a regional center. You have to have a great reputation, great history. I've been in the EB5 space for more than 15 years, so I'm very well known in the market. And all that I'm doing here in the Valley is developing multifamily projects that it's needed in certain parts of the Valley, whether it's McAllen or Brownsville or Pharr or Harlingen. We have a land bank that we can develop more than 2,500 units in the next decade. And we're trying to make sure that we do it the correct way. But to bring EB5 to the Valley, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for internationals to get the Valley, to get to know the Valley better, and also to take the opportunity because the demand it's greater than the offer right now. So we're trying to get that rolling immediately.
So when you say you've got the license for a region, how big is that region? How far do you extend?
We have the whole state of Texas.
I see.
But we're only going to be focusing in the Rio Grande Valley. Yes.
And the specific project that you're working on now is in Pharr.
It's in Pharr.
A housing project.
It is a multifamily project, 7 buildings, 168 units. And we're going to be starting that this summer.
And where's the location?
It's in the Expressway. The street is Polk, right in the middle of the whole retail and the new bypass of the freeway and everything. So the location is superb, and it qualifies as a target employment area for EB5 purposes. So the minimum investment is $800,000 per family. Again, it's spouse and children under 21. So it doesn't matter if you have one or you have 8 children, they can all apply as long as they're under 21. And we're going to be starting construction this summer for 168 units. Does the
local city leadership appreciate the fact that you bring in another housing project to the city?
100%.
There's tremendous demand.
100%. They're very supportive of our project. We have the permit, and we can't wait to get it going. I think it's going to be great for the city of Pharr, and it's going to be great for the whole Rio Grande Valley to finally have a tremendous EB5 success in the Rio Grande Valley.
Any foreign national you could approach, from anyone around the world could participate in this, but predominantly you're looking for the Mexican investor because they're next door.
Correct. I mean, it's common sense. We're very, very close to Mexico, but we can cater to anybody in the world. The program is open to anybody in the world, unless there's several countries that have conflict with the United States, which there are a few. But 98% of the citizens in the world can apply and can enjoy having a green card.
So the fact that you promote this program in Mexico, how do you do that? How do you get your name out there throughout Mexico to find those investors?
Well, we want to make sure we go into the business market, the business sectors, right? We're part of every chamber you can imagine in Mexico. We do a couple of meet and greets and events and lunch and learns, so people can come and learn about the EB5 and what the program's all about, how it works, and the time that it takes. And we want to make sure that we get this one-on-one service to our clients. I am very focused on a niche market, but also to be a very boutique firm where you can feel very comfortable that you're dealing with the owners, you're dealing with the developers, and with the regional center straight, directly. We're not lending your money to anybody else. The money stays in your projects. We want to make sure that you understand that there's an escrow account and the whole process behind getting a green card. So the way we promote it is very personal, very one-to-one. But we do use many chambers and many events and whatnot.
And what's the interest level? I mean, we hear these stories that there's so many Mexican nationals that would like to come and live here and work here, that you would think there's a lot of potential for you.
There's a lot of interest, but there's a lot of misunderstanding. So that's where I think Open EB5, we as a group are very strong in communicating with the prospect investor, if this program fits their expectations or not to start. And if it does fit, we want to make sure they understand that this is not a 2-3 day situation. They have to stick around. It takes a little bit to get the first green card, which is a conditional green card. And that translates into a permanent green card once we show the job creation that we've done in that particular project. So we're going to be partners between 3 and 5 years with that particular prospect investor. And we want to make sure they understand that, because when we start sending reports every 3 months, when you start joining our meetings or calling about it, we want to make sure that you understand where you're sitting with your process and where is the project sitting within your capital investment.
And to satisfy the government, how many jobs do you have to create? It's, say, for example, the Pharr project.
Correct. We need to generate 10 jobs per investor. So in this case, in this particular project, it's a $24 million project. We're going to be generating close to 160 new jobs in the market, but we're going to be inviting only 13 families, so we can get to 130. So I always want to make sure that we leave a gap between what our economic impact report shows and the amount of people we invite. We always want to leave a gap. So if we're very efficient, we don't affect anybody, and the jobs will be created for everybody.
But those, I can see where you would be creating a lot of jobs for construction of that housing project, but those aren't permanent. So how do you fill the requirements?
Being a regional center, we can create indirect, direct, and induced. So those 3 count for those 10 jobs. So you're right, we're creating some indirect in construction, we're creating some direct in the management, but we're also creating economic impact around the area. And that counts for the EB5.
And you work with the city, you get reports, you get a statement on the projections of what this is going to do for the community, and how many indirect jobs, how many other businesses are going to come through as a result of that project.
Correct. We do what is called an economic impact report, and that shows exactly that. How many jobs we're going to be creating also around the area that we're going to be building this $24 million project.
And I thought of another question, Emilio. It's sort of quite newsworthy at the moment because when we think about foreign nationals getting the opportunity to live here, to get that green card, that legal residency card for themselves and their family, President Trump is talking about it now. And he's got a proposal out there where I think it's like $5 million, but you don't have to create any jobs or have any projects. If you've got that sort of money, you can come and live here. What do you know of that?
Correct. Well, I've been watching the news too. It was new news to me too. I think any initiative that allows foreign investors to become residents of the United States by investing is great. But I don't see that as a threat to the EB5 program. I think the EB5 program is very clear. It's going to remain approved until 2027, and people should take advantage because it produces a lot of jobs. It's been in the market for many, many decades. It's shown the power, allowing a lot of families to come and live legally in the United States, but also thousands and thousands of jobs have been created through the EB5. So again, I think the idea of a golden visa or a golden green card, it could be a good initiative. Let's wait to see the dots and rules and regulations on it. But I don't think that will affect at all the EB5 program as it stands right now.
Let's go back to the office in McAllen. That's showing your commitment for our regions.
We are setting up our office in McAllen, the PNC Bank. Amazing view of the city of McAllen. We're very proud of that. So our team is going to be there. We want to make sure that we are part of the community, that we get involved in the community, and that people know that they're investing with a serious group that can come and meet in person anytime in McAllen. So, yes.
Is it too early to talk about what you want to do in Brownsville? Or do you want to get
no, we are, again, we have a land bank with a lot of land surrounding the Rio Grande Valley. And our second project is going to be in Brownsville. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be close to $60 million, 355 units, also multifamily project. In that particular project, we are hoping that we can invite close to 40 families, maybe 42. We need to wait for the economic impact report to show how many jobs we're going to be creating. But that's going to be a massive, massive project for Brownsville, and we couldn't be happier. Again, the demand is greater than the offer right now.
Good feedback from the city leadership. They're looking forward
100%, 100%.
Welcoming you.
Yes, 100%. So we're going to be around, Steve.
Yeah. I've no doubt about that. We've known each other for some time.
Yes, sir.
Your commitment to this region's always been there for many years.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we ought to say, though, that you've got a very credible company with a tremendous track record. The program itself, though, has had its ups and downs over the years. Sometimes, it's had a bad name, and it may have affected you, and you've got to deal with that. But those days perhaps are behind us?
Well, again, the program started in 1990, and it used to be $500,000 per family. And that kept for many, many, many decades. And then the program lapsed and then came back in March 2022 with a new minimum of $800,000 for a target employment area project and $1.05 million if you're in a non-target employment area. We're going to only do target employment area here in the Valley, so we're very proud of that. But the program changed, and it changed for the better. It has a lot of good new rules for the investor. The investor can now apply by living in the United States. They don't have to remain in their country of origin. So they can apply here, and they can apply for a travel permit and a work permit before they get their green card. So they can remain legal in the United States before the USCIS approves that. But yes, the program has been changing. There's a lot of rules for us as a regional center that we're complying with. We have a fund control manager now that also approves the money flowing from the escrow account to the project, which eventually generates the jobs for the investor. But there's a lot of controls now that the investor has, and we are ready to comply with every single one, because that's the right way to do it.
And that rule change allowing the Mexican national, in this case, to live in the US while it's all happening, or live here anyway and apply, that must
It's a tremendous advantage. It's a tremendous advantage because families can now plan, right? Can now say, okay, I want to go this summer before my kids go to school. I want to travel this way. There's certain times and permits that they need to get to travel and all that. I don't want to get in all the details because I'm not an attorney, but the advantage is there, and they need to understand, and they need to also take that in consideration.
So Emilio, I feel I've learned a lot again from this conversation, and we're pleased to have you here to write about this and film this, put the story out. But tell me, have we missed anything out? Are there any other things about the project you want to talk about?
Well, about the project, again, we have already the construction loan approved. We have the permits from the city. We are very excited about those first 7 families that are already into the project. We're looking for another 6 families. We are in constant communication and promotion and marketing, and we want to make sure that we meet this family so we can take care of those last 6 spaces. And we're ready to start building, which is the fun part, right? Once you break ground and you start building, you start generating jobs, and everything goes the way we planned. We don't foresee any changes on the EB5 program. The EB5 program has been approved until 2027, and we look forward on the program remaining that way. It was approved in March 2022 for 5 years. So, maybe the federal government wants to implement a new program. That's fine, but we don't see anything happening with the EB5 program right now.
So if someone's watching and they're interested, they want to learn more, how do they reach you?
Well, they can either log into our website, openeb5.com, or they could just send an email, open@openeb5.com.
Well, thank you so much. We've learned a lot. I appreciate it, Emilio.